Lorenzo proceeds towards the Azores today. Currently with winds of 105 miles per hour, pressure estimate 960 millibars. It's at 29.6 north, 42.8 degrees west at 2 p.m. UTC this September 30th. On the CDPS, we're still looking at Flores in the western Azores for October the 2nd, a potential landfall. Not quite as strong as we're expecting now, but still hurricane strength, and a huge wind field puts it into stage 6, catastrophic damage possible on some of these islands. Hurricane force winds possible on multiple Azores islands as well. Here it is right now, its current position and its wind field, which is already rather sizable. A category 2 hurricane at this point. It's 942 miles from Flores, 1016 from Horta, 1087 from Terceira, 1133 from Ponta Delgada, and 2232 from Cork in Ireland. Well, there are warning watches at least in effect at this point. Hurricane watch for the western islands and a tropical storm watch for Ponta Delgada and Santa Maria. San Miguel is the island that houses the town Ponta Delgada, the largest of the Azores. And this is what we expect in terms of the rainfall over the next 7 days. The pink areas there denoting 3 inches of rainfall or higher. You can see the storm very quickly shift up there northeast, moving through there. Models still pretty much on board with it being deflected off towards the northwest eventually and not affecting Western Europe at this point. That's the GFS at least. The sea surface temperatures look like this right now. So it's going to cool down a lot in the next day or two. Once it gets to the Azores, we're looking at temperatures of around 23 degrees. That's not typically enough to sustain a tropical cyclone. And looking at the forecast then over the next few days as well, here we are at the beginning of the forecast period. Moving through there, you can see hurricane force winds affecting some of those islands and tropical storm force winds affecting pretty much all of the Azores. And then by the time we get towards the end of the week, we could see gale force winds affecting Ireland and then actually moving through to Wales and the southwest of England. Still though, the storm will have weakened drastically by that point. It already is on a weakening trend at the moment, so it remains to be seen exactly what the effects will be in Western Europe. This is what the models are saying at this point. So a few of them still calling for it to remain a category 2 now for a good day or so, or maybe even a little bit more than that. Wind shear is dropping a little bit as we enter the 1st of October, but we'll be going through the roof later on. So yes, actually the GFS is calling for the storm to move through the British Isles, but the other 2 models, H1 and HWRF, depicted on that screen there, still bending towards the west. The models have been flip-flopping a lot in the last couple of days, so that is very uncertain what will happen after the storm passes the Azores. This is how the storm is looking on satellite imagery right now. You can see it's starting to get a bit more of a post-tropical appearance, not post-tropical but a transitioning storm, certainly well off its peak by now. Convection is starting to wane a little bit on the outer parts of the storm, but its size is increasing markedly. The center is still producing some good convection there, and the eye is still quite apparent, even though it's probably not a complete one. Looking at that imagery there, there'll be at least one gap in it, fractured eye wall. And this storm will be on a gradual weakening trend. It may hold on to category 2 status for quite a bit longer yet, but eventually it will weaken and probably a category 1 by the time it reaches the Azores on Tuesday or Wednesday. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colors wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.